intensive treatment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Intensive Treatment, your number one spot for everything in the world of the Arkham universe. So today we got something a little bit different, something in vein closer to our cut content kind of episodes. I want to say it's in that kind of vicinity of
Yeah, and
stuff.
this is something that I am not entirely sure I even know about.
So today we're going to be talking about piracy a little bit.
And
And
how we stole Rocksteady.
That's we stole all their ideas.
Or,
No,
yeah.
actually, we're going to talk about the anti-piracy measures within Arkham Asylum. So, um, just to give people a little bit of intro, um, there are certain games throughout the years that have had certain measures because you might have some people that like illegally download copies of certain video games, and the developers sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they'll add in funny measures for those pirates. Like one of the ones that I can think of right off the top of my head was for Spyro the Dragon. I think it was the second game, or maybe it was the first one. There's a point in the game where for your checkpoints are fairies, and then you can talk to them for hints. There's a point where you talk to a fairy, and she basically tells you to buy a copy of the game. She's like, you talk to her and she's like, "You're playing an illegal copy of Spyro the Dragon. In order to continue on, you need to actually buy the damn game." So there are occasional things in certain video games like they do this. And Arkham Asylum probably has one of my favorites as far as these kind of countermeasures. It's basically what we would call a contingency plan in Batman terms.
Mhm.
So you know nothing about this, I imagine.
I don't want to say I know nothing because now that you
Mm,
mentioned the other measure that other game took, I feel like I heard something about this or read about it somewhere, but I don't remember what it was. And
Yeah,
maybe if you say it, it'll refresh my memory and I'll actually
yeah,
be able to contribute.
yeah. Maybe once you hear what they did, like, um, you might
Didn't they like
you might
they
catch on.
banned you from playing it or something?
Actually, that would be funny, but no. So getting into it, certain people illegally got copies of Arkham Asylum. I want to say this was like before the game launched, or at least like close to its release date, maybe even shortly after. But anyway, so if you had a pirated copy of Arkham Asylum, they had certain measures as you played through the game. Like one of them was they would disable Batman's cape at random points. So one example would be like you're in that room with the Joker gas, right?
Yeah.
And you have to glide over the ledge to go save the thug.
But you can't.
If you jump, you can't make it. So there would be a certain point where like you play the game normally, and then you would try to glide over to save that thug or talk to him or whatever, and the cape would just not work.
Wow.
So you would be stuck in that room having to, jump into the laughing gas and, escape out of there. It just not work. There would be
Huh.
other occasions where they would disable your grapple gun. So you would be playing the game and you'd have to grab up to a ledge or whatnot. It would just not work. Or
Wow.
there would be certain places off the map that you could grapple onto. Like it'd be like weird grappling points. It'd be like over by Wayne Tower, as an example.
What the frick?
Something like that. There are videos of people showing these off where,
I didn't know about any of that.
yeah, like there'd be a weird grapple marker. There's one video I remember where it was like I was a kid, like I might have been like right after I got the game. I remember watching one of those videos and it was like He was right outside the penitentiary, and then there's this grapple point that goes past like Arkham East. I think that's where the intensive treatment building is. Maybe it's
Yeah.
Arkham West. I'm forgetting. Anyway, so he sees the grapple thing, and then he just like grapples on, and then he's just zipping there for a very long time. Like it's over a minute of him zipping to
Holy
this point,
crap.
and he gets to it, and he's basically grabbing onto nothing
Oh
because
my gosh.
he's out of bounds, so there is nothing, and he's just like in this black void or this gray void, and he's just like hanging off this ledge of nothing. Um, and I remember
Make
watching that as a kid, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. It's like, where can I grapple onto there? It's like, is that a glitch? It's like, wait, how can I do that? Um, turns out you can't do that in the main version of the game. But
just pirate the game, man.
you know what the best part about these anti-piracy measures are? And this is one
What?
of the things that was most infamous about this one in particular. There were certain people who would make videos and would post on message boards saying that they had glitches of these happening. So somebody would be on a message board
Oh,
and be like, "Hey, I was playing Arkham Asylum and all of a sudden I couldn't glide to a certain area or blah blah blah. I couldn't grapple onto this ledge." There is a video, and I hope that you put this in the that you edit this in. I'll send it to you later. It's a
okay.
guy, he's playing the he's in the botanical gardens,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Oh, so I need help. Like I was going through the underground area of the botanical gardens." And he's like, he's right outside of where you save that janitor, the one that's voiced by Steve Bloom. He's like, "Do I look okay?"
Yeah, yeah.
He's like right out there. And he's like, "I can't grapple onto this thing."
Okay, so as you can read by the name, this is the Batman Arkham Asylum glitch that I've come to on this level where I have to get Poison Ivy, and I don't know, it's some kind of bug, but I don't know, you tell me. I just get up here, and I'm supposed to get up to that shaft, and I press F, and it gives me this. He can't get up. On a previous level, I was here again, and he had no problem, like, going up there with this grappling hook. You can't use this. You gotta click F, but it doesn't. Instead, he goes like this. This is the ultra bug. He just goes like that and does this. And it goes black. I gotta do this. Fucking load. Alright. And again, he can get up. Please, someone, like, help. Bye.
So these people would post these videos or these messages on message boards, and the developers would call them out. They would message them back and be like, "Well, the reason that you're having problems is because you have a pirated copy of the game. That's why
Wow.
it's not working." They got they it's like the whole internet has just called them out to these people,
That's
these idiots
ruthless.
that decided to pirate their video game. Like this video I'm talking about, there's comments all over the place from people. Like one of my favorite comments I was looking at earlier before we started recording, uh, the whole video, he's like, I need help." And this guy was like, "Here's a tip, buy the game." Like, oh man. This became infamous. Like, not only to Arkham players, but also for, like, people that are interested in these kind of, like, out of bounds glitch type sorta deals.
Right.
And this has always been one of my favorite things, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. And I don't think the other Arkham games have measures like this one, but it's just so interesting looking at Arkham Asylum in particularly because it's just like out of nowhere you'll be playing a pirated copy, and then all of a sudden you're just like, I can't glide anymore, or I can't grapple on
Yeah.
anything.
I wonder why they took such extreme measures with this one and not the others
I'm
as
not
well.
entirely sure. I'm, you know what? That's an interesting question. I feel like it's just because, like, most of the time when they do stuff like this, it's more just out of fun. Like, it's just to
Yeah.
take the piss out of people. Um, I mean, I'm sure there's been some games like you said, they like just ban you from playing it entirely. Like they take the
Right.
most like direct approach. But I always like these ones where it's just like teasing you for the fact that like you went out of your way to get a pirated copy of the game.
Right.
Just like, hey, asshat, hey, hey, jerk off, just buy an actual copy of the game.
You know who Rocksteady would have hated? Batman Ultra 7. Him and his piracy.
Oh, that's right. He did make a video about piracy. Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You goddamn
You
fucker.
Listen, Buckhead.
um,
That's so interesting. I didn't know any of that.
yeah.
So you were right. I didn't know anything.
I don't remember where this idea sparked where I was like, I want to do this for the podcast. I don't it might have been it was something to do with piracy. Do you remember those old piracy ads on like the DVDs and stuff where it's just
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh yeah.
you could steal a car, you could steal like electronics is like it's like you know what that's called piracy or whatnot.
Right.
It's just like it takes me back to a time where it's just like I mean nowadays like piracy is still a thing, but it's like when was the last time anybody made anything on the internet? Like they talked about piracy at all on the internet.
Right. Dude, I couldn't even tell you.
I remember a time where it was like if you burned a DVD, like if you burned it onto like a CD, like that was just like illegal. It
Yeah.
was immoral, and
It was immoral.
it was immoral. Could you see those ads everywhere? Where it's just like
Yeah.
piracy is like not piracy is not a victimless crime,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like cases like this is just amazing to me. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, because it makes it interesting and funny.
it is, yeah, it is really funny, especially when the people in question call themselves out, like
That's the best
indirectly.
part.
Yeah,
Well, how about you just buy our game?
yeah, just
That would
buy the
help
game.
out
Like it's just
everybody.
as simple as that, right? It's
Because
just
then you get a sequel. Then
yeah,
your
that's
money's
right.
going to the company. We'll make
Then you
another
can
one.
actually get a working game. Like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I knew this was going to be a short episode, but I knew this was going to be a funny topic to let you and the audience know because this is kind of a forgotten piece of truth. Like if you had like an Arkham iceberg, this would be on like the bottom of the iceberg.
Yeah.
But
It
it's
seems
such
like it
it's
because
yeah,
I had no idea that it was that deep.
deep. Yeah. It's just it's so funny to think about and like I can't even imagine like this is just like it's interesting because it takes me back to a time that we don't really do stuff like this anymore or as far as I'm aware. Um
No, I think you're right on that because it almost feels like it was mainly to our generation of like that cutoff.
yeah.
Um, and only really people that were like into nerdy stuff would get
Yeah,
this
that's
and
true.
be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that when I was a kid."
Yeah, like I can't think of a game today that like the developers kind of dicked around with the player who like decided to download it illegally. Um,
No, it would never happen.
no. But back then, the internet was becoming a commonplace thing.
Right.
People were actually had computers in their homes, and this was becoming a widespread thing. And even then, they were like they knew that there were some jackasses out there that were going to get like music or whatever they were going to get it by illegal means. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, just having people like game developers kind of take that extra measure, that extra step to just be like, hey, we know what you're doing.
Right.
We see what you're doing. We like the whole world knows what you're doing, and we're just gonna fuck with you is hilarious.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And I wish it was like that still.
Yeah.
It would make everything so much more
Yeah. Like, could you
easy.
imagine for like just like because Spider-Man 2 is coming out on PC real soon. Could you imagine if, like, for the pirates out there, they were like, "Oh, we're just not gonna let you use the web shooters. We're just gonna disable it.
That'd be awesome.
You're gonna walk to, like, go fight Sandman or whatever."
Yeah, that'd be great. Freaking hilarious.
That would be great, yeah.
But that something like that wouldn't happen.
No. Which is a
And that
shame, though.
sucks.
Yeah.
And it sucks for us too because it feels like the things that made up our lives for so long it's all gone now.
Mhm.
Um, and for people like us who have always been interested in comics and TV shows and movies and video games, it's like it's so different now. Even after like I don't know, Asylum was in 2009, so it's like 15 years. I mean, if we think about it, it's 15 years is a while, but in the 2010s and the 2000s, technology can only go so far.
True.
So it's not that long ago in terms of technology. And the fact that the internet has actually changed that much within 15 years is crazy that we can't even do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, like, I was thinking about this as we were talking because we were mentioned, like, this type of tomfoolery is from a bygone era. Like, I was thinking about because, like, there was somebody or a team recently that did a Switch emulator on PC, and the
Mhm.
worst that they got was a cease and desist from Nintendo. But, like, in, like, 2009, if, like I remember a story where it was, like, this dude pirated it was, like, a Mario game or so I don't know if it was, like, Mario Galaxy or New Super Mario Brothers Wii or something like that, but that guy got a lawsuit. For it
Really?
was, like, for a large amount of money, like, probably over $1,000,000,
Holy crap.
and it's like, you don't see that anymore.
No, not at all.
It's crazy to me. It's just like and I feel like this is something I would love to see come back in video games. It's just like them fucking with their players in like, it's
Yeah.
for especially those who are gonna, like, be dicks and, like, try to get it like, not actually purchase it. They just be like, "Hey, fuck you." Yeah. Could you imagine
Yeah.
if, like, they bought Suicide Squad and before you even start, the bomb in your head just explodes and you
Oh, that'd
can't
be
proceed?
great.
That'd be great. Or like I said with Spider-Man, the web shooters don't work. Like I said,
Right.
you just have to walk to places. That'd be hilarious.
It would. It would be
So,
so funny.
but it's like a time capsule, man. This whole discussion is just basically a time capsule from a time we'll never get again.
No.
This just turned into like a sad
This is the
episode.
most depressing episode we've ever done. No, but it's good to reflect on this stuff,
That's
especially
true.
because Arkham played such a big role in both of our lives, and it came out at the very like tail end of that time.
Yes.
It's at the very end, and it's bittersweet because I mean I'd rather be back then than right now. Even
Yeah.
2009, it's like I wouldn't kill, but I'd do a lot of things to get back there.
I would hurt somebody to be
Oh
back
yeah,
in 2009.
yeah,
All of a sudden, I
just
just got like these flood of memories. Like, remember when you went on YouTube or like Google and you found like fake posters for like Dark Knight, like the third Dark Knight movie,
yep, yep.
the third Christopher Nolan movie, and it was like Riddler, like a
I
mock-up
d-
Riddler.
dude, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're unlocking core memories.
Or like you go on YouTube and somebody would be like, "Oh, they like the Xbox 720, what it would
Yep,
look like."
and it was like
Shit like
a keyboard ass controller.
yes. It
That was the best time
was just
ever.
a sphere, like, the whole console was just a sphere.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok recently where it's like, you know that music they play for, like, those videos, right?
What the
it's like
nostalgic one?
the Xbox 720. They have a certain song they play. I forget the name of it, but like
Oh,
if you heard that song now, you'd be like, "That's unlocking like memories, dude."
if you find a TikTok with it, send it to me and I'll
I
tell
have
you.
one. I'll send it to you.
Oh,
But
send it to me. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that piece of music just like takes me back to like 2007 and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just like I'm in my childhood right now. And
Yeah.
this case is like no different because I remember this. I remember like right when I played Asylum. This was 2011, and I
Mhm.
remember because I was a pretty internet savvy kid, so
Yeah.
I'd like go on YouTube on my piece of shit computer that we had. I'd go on YouTube and watch videos of like Arkham Asylum or whatever, and yeah, one of those two of the videos I remember the most was that video, the glitch that we talked about recently, where it was like the Batman's right behind the thug, and he turns
Yes.
around and he doesn't even acknowledge you.
Oh,
And
it's
the
so
other one,
funny.
like I said, it was just the pirated stuff where he's grappling onto like this invisible ledge. It's great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought it would be fun to talk about. I figured Swifty had no idea, so I think
No.
he uh got a good indicator for this topic, and I
This
knew
was
that
fun
it's
for
just
me.
I figured it was just like if he hadn't seen it, like he's gonna get a laugh out of it for sure.
Oh yeah,
He's
it's
gonna really
great.
like it, yeah. But that
And
is gonna be it for this episode. I thought it'd be a lot shorter, but we just went off topic in the best way possible.
oh yeah. I
Um,
hope that everything we just talked about brings you guys back to a simpler time in your lives
yeah,
because it did for me.
yeah. I just feel happy right now. It's
Do
just
you?
yeah, I do. And then
Yeah.
I wake up tomorrow and I'm just depressed in my life now.
Here we go. We're
I hate
back in the fucking future.
it's don't grow up if you know you're a kid. Listen, like if you're a teenager, don't grow up.
No. And know that if you are a teenager, there is a way, never lose your inner child.
Yeah.
Like, you will grow up, but you don't need to fully grow up ever.
No,
Don't feel obligated.
you can
Because
still
the
like.
people that don't are always, in my experience, the happiest people. And I don't
Hey,
mean never grow up as in throwing away responsibilities, but they never grow up. They always have that joy about what made them that way when they were a kid.
you can be 40 and still like Arkham. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Be 90 and read comic books.
that's right. Yeah,
You're awesome if you are.
be the coolest night.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
We'll let you guys go and do whatever it is you were doing
That's true.
back to our regularly scheduled lives.
Yes. Yeah, everybody, that is going to be it for this another another episode of the Intensive Treatment Podcast. Be sure to watch our previous ones. We've been on fire recently with these episodes.
We're always on fire.
We are. That's I mean,
We're like the only Arkham podcast that's going strong right now.
you know what? That's a good point because I don't think I've seen, or at least so far, I haven't seen other dedicated podcast to Arkham in any way.
Me neither.
So
And I mean, I'm glad that it's just us.
that's true. We don't need a third co-host. We're over that at this point.
Well, I'm glad it's just us in that way, and I'm also glad that there's no other ones out there
True.
because that means we get all the people.
King of the castle, baby.
Hey, baby.
But yeah, we'll see you guys for another episode at a later date. And also be sure to check out our other videos, penitentiary playthroughs, ITTVs,
The live
more
streams,
live streams, more podcasts, that kind of shit. So
everything.
everything.
Click the notification bell so you know when we're doing stuff.
Yes, please do so. And we will see you guys for the next episode. So
Yeah.
have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay locked up, of course.
I've had to calibrate the scanner to only show recent prints.